So today I'm going to teach you the motion chapter. So the very first topic which comes into the motion chapter is the distance. Now what exactly the distance is? Now distance is the total path which is covered by an object. Or we can say in simple word that distance is how far an object travels from a certain period of time, in a certain period of time. So by taking an example, I'll explain. It's like you started from your home and you goes to your school. Okay, so what will be your total path, total distance? That will be the distance between your what school and your home will be the distance. So the total path, whichever the path it is, the total path covered by the object will be the distance. Now the SI unit of the distance is meter. Now what is SI unit? SI unit is International System of Standard. It's like every physical quantity can be measured by some units. So it's like distance is measured in meter, and any force in the world will be measured in the Newton, and the mass will be measured in what, kg. So these are the units in which we can measure any physical quantity, and these these units is known as SI units. SI unit is applicable to all over the world. It's like across whole world you will be using a same unit for the distance. Now next point is it is a scalar quantity. Now what is a scalar quantity? Scalar quantities are those quantities which have magnitude but not the direction. I'm just giving you an example. It's like I'm walking. I started walking and I have traveled a distance 10 meters. So here I have said that I have traveled a distance 10 meters, but I haven't said anything about the direction. I have only included the numerical value, that is the numerical value, that is what, 10 meter. But have I mentioned here that in which direction I have traveled the distance, whether it is north, east, west, south, nothing. I have just said that I have traveled the distance and that is 10 meter. So that quantities which do not have the direction but only the magnitude, that is a numerical value, that quantities are called the scalar quantity. So in distance we don't consider the directions, so that is why we said that distance is a scalar quantity. Now I have taken an example that consider an object starting from A travels to C, then to B, and finally to A. So in next slide I have just shown you some figure. Okay, here is a figure. So according to the question, an object starting from this position goes to C position, then from C it goes to B position, and from B it goes to A position. Now you have to calculate the total distance covered by the object. So what you will do, you will just add all the path which is covered by the object, that is OC plus CB plus BA, and you will get the final answer, that will be the 60 kilometer. It is easy for this example because here I have taken the straight line. But if I have taken some other line, it's like if I have moving in a circle or in triangle path, then what I have to do? I have to sum all the arms of that triangle or rectangular path, whichever path I am taken. So here moving towards the next topic, that is displacement. Now what is displacement? So displacement is the shortest path between initial and final in a definite direction. It means if you will take, see by example, it will be much better to explain here. Before that, what is the SI unit of displacement? Displacement is also a length, and length is calculated in meters. So SI unit of the displacement will be meter only. Now it is a vector quantity. It means here in displacement we have to take the direction. We can't just stick to the magnitude only. So here we have to take both the magnitude as well as the directions. Like I'm giving you example. I started moving towards east and I have traveled 10 meter. So here I have said that I have traveled 10 meters, and in which direction? East. So here direction is mentioned, so that is why the displacement will be what, the vector quantity. I mean this is only the vector quantity, but displacement is something which includes the direction. Now take this example again. If an object is traveling from this O position, it goes to A position. like here, and after traveling that A position, it comes back to B position. Now what will be the displacement? Here you have to first see that what will be the initial and what will be the final point. So here initial point will be O, and after traveling some distance, final point will be B. So the shortest distance between initial and final will be your displacement. So here the displacement will be OB, and the value of OB will be 35. So this is what displacement. Now moving towards the next slide, it contains some important question. Okay, so it's like, can displacement be zero? So this is the question which has been asked in the question in your examination many times. So yes, displacement can be zero. If an object starting from this position travels some distance, and after traveling some distance, it just comes back to its original position, this. So here initial and final point both are same. So if both points are same, then we can say that here the distance between starting and final point is zero, and this displacement will be what? Zero. Other example I can take, like if you started walking in a circular path, you will come back to the same position only from which you have started. So here also you can say that displacement will be zero. Why? Because the distance between initial and final point is zero. That is nothing. The point is same. So here the displacement will be zero. Now second question is also very important, like can displacement be equal to distance? So yes, it can be equal to distance. Like if an object starting from this point and it covered some distance and it just stays here only. So here we can say that the distance will be what? Let's suppose this is A and this is B. So distance will be AB and displacement will also be AB. So yes, distance and displacement can be same. So these were the topics, like what is distance and what is displacement, what are their SI units, and whether they are scalar or vector quantities. Students, questions has been asked in exam, like differentiate between these two. So it is very important topic. Now moving towards the next topic, which is the speed. So speed is a measure of how fast a car or a person or any moving object is traveling. It means how fast an object can be while it is attaining some, it is traveling through some distance. Now the SI unit will be what? Meter per second. This SI unit we can calculate from the this formula as well. Here another definition we can make from this formula. The formula of the speed is distance upon time. The formula of the speed is distance upon time. From this formula we can make the definition of speed. That is, the speed is defined as a ratio of distance and time. So what here, distance, if we will just take the ratio of distance and time traveled by an object, so we can calculate the speed. So here I have mentioned another definition of the speed. So you can calculate, you can just get that definition from this formula. Now I can calculate the SI unit from this formula. Like what will be the SI unit of distance? It should be meter, because distance is measured in meter. After that, what will be the SI unit of time? So time is measured in seconds. The SI unit of the time is seconds. So the formula will become, the SI unit will become meter per second for speed. Now the question is whether it is a scalar or vector quantity. So it is a scalar quantity because it includes only the magnitude but not the direction. So it will be the scalar quantity. So this is the speed. Now the next topic will be your this average speed. So it is defined as the ratio of total distance traveled to the total time taken. Here I have mentioned the formula as well, that is average speed is equals to total distance traveled upon total time taken. Okay, and one note has been given that if we take the speed of any vehicle, then what will be the measuring device? The measuring device will be speedometer. In speedometer, we can calculate the speed of any vehicle. Now, coming back to this average speed. So average speed is what? if an object is starting from A point goes to B point, after that it goes to C point, and from C it goes to D point. So it have 4 points, A to B, B to C, C to D. Now here from A to B it will cover some distance in some time, from B to C it will cover some distance in some time, and from C to D it will cover some distance in some time. So what we will do, we will add up all the distance and uh, just add up all the time, the sum of the time, and we will just divide both and we will get what average speed. So after that the next topic will be your velocity, and that will be covered in some other slide. Thank you so much.